do have a question though, which does stem from like the whole giving out rings thing. Do you think winning culture in the NBA has like been like ruined? Like, let me like because do you think like the whole like winning culture of like players wanting to win championships and that? Do you think it's like been ruined and it's like less than how it was in like the 2000s and the 2010s and the 90s and the 80s and etc.? I don't like. Do you guys understand my question? Like, is it making any sense?
No, I get it. It gets prioritized. I'll say that, but I feel like some people, the way they talk about it's kind of weird. Like, if you don't have a championship, you're like looked at very differently. I mean, it's justified for some people. Like a certain number 32. I'm not gonna say his name. Fucking rapist. And then you have an anti-vaxxer, also racist. Probably a disgusting human, even though he already is. So I'm not going to say his name, but
also a disgusting basketball player, overrated as shit.
I mean, Stockton. I doubt Stockton is a racist when he played with a black man. Now he's a weirdo, but he's not a racist.
He's from Utah.
If he obviously comes out as a racist, he's not going to have a spot in the league anymore. So he can't actually do that.
Yeah, you got come up like Jokic. I'm kidding. Will
exactly. Now redacted Malone. I mean, yes, that guy is a horrible person. But Stockton,
Karl Malone listen, hear me out. If Karl Malone got hit by a car today, I think I'd celebrate.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't celebrate. Listen, you could be the worst person in the world, but if
he's fucking scum that should be.
I had hit the.
What the fuck are we doing, man?
You know what? Let me rephrase that. If
Karl Malone, listen. If it happened to him, I'd celebrate. There's not many people I'd celebrate it for.
He's a terrible person, yes, but I mean, I'm not gonna be celebrating that someone like died in a horrific way. That's just kind of dark.
I am, because I do not give a fuck.
Winning culture? I mean, it's always been a thing, even back in the 90s, whatever the fuck. I think it's just people they use it to try to argue their players better than the other. Or sometimes what LeBron fans do with Jordan is they say, "Oh, rings don't matter. They don't matter that much." No. LeBron is still way better than Jordan. The rings don't really factor into this. That's what they do, right? It's like you're on one side or the other depending on which side your player's on. That's what it is.
Like they prioritize how many times you get to the finals versus how many times you won in the finals. It's kind of weird.
That is crazy, by the way. That is
like I'd rather win in the finals than go to the finals like 40 times.
The thing is, when you use it to rank players, it's completely situational.
Wait, Will, did you want me to pull this up?
What? Oh no, not yet. Not yet. Just whenever we have a fucking dull moment and we need some content, just pull that up.
What?
Okay, I don't know if this was a part of it.
But anyway, what I'm saying is, like the ring culture shit. At least using it to rank players, it's very situational. Magic Johnson spawned in with fucking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on his team. Yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, he has 5 rings. Obviously, didn't have much longevity.
Is Robert Horry a top 10 player all time? Like,
not even in his prime, but just 11, 12 years of being a fucking serviceable player. Same with Larry Bird. He spawned in with a great team. But a guy like Hakeem Olajuwon, what did he have? He had Ralph Sampson, but Ralph Sampson only had like 1 healthy year with him.
They had a good team, but it wasn't good enough for them to like. Exactly. It wasn't good enough for them to win because they made it to the finals twice in the 80s, but they just were never. They were a good team, but they weren't good until the 90s. They weren't great till the 90s.
I don't even know. I cannot call them a championship level team when the second and third option is Vernon Maxwell and Otis Thorpe when they won a championship. The fact that they won with that is absolutely unbelievable, and it shows how great Hakeem actually is. But for example, if Hakeem had a fortunate situation like Magic did as soon as he spawned in, we would look at him as a top 3 player of all time.
Yeah.
So a lot of this like ring culture shit, it's very situational, and it is unfortunately ultimately going to be what decides where a player gets ranked.
So by that case, would Kobe get ranked lower, and Shaq would Kobe and Shaq get ranked lower because Shaq and Kobe
higher than Shaq a lot of times?
I mean, I rank Kobe above Shaq, but but hearing what you're saying, because Kobe got drafted, or he didn't get drafted there, but he got traded on draft night. So you can technically say that he
technically entered that team.
And then when he got there, Shaq immediately got there, but Shaq wasn't. But Shaq wasn't like, it was Shaq's team. Kobe, no one predicted. Now, yes, Kobe, there were speculations that Kobe was going to be great, but Kobe didn't become good until like his second or third. I would say maybe his third year.
Second season was good, not like great though.
But they weren't.
But
they didn't immediately
rookie,
win.
though.
So I mean, it's like, do they do this? So does that benefit them, or does it
he's
not
gone
benefit
into a
them?
fortunate situation. Yes. Jordan technically didn't. Jordan was in a fucking shit situation,
no.
but he ended up getting Scottie Pippen.
But that's why he didn't win until how many years later?
Exactly.
Like 6,
it takes a team to win championships, and
that's why I hate when people are like, "Oh, this guy's 25, he hasn't won yet. Let's start clowning." I'm like, bro, chill the fuck out. Like, crazy. Curry was what 30 until he became like the league MVP. Like, let's
he was
calm
26.
Nah, Curry got started fairly early.
He was 26, dude.
He was younger than he came into the league. I thought he was
year
like
6,
30ish.
Yeah.
It's like year 6. Yeah.
And like Curry and the Warriors, I mean, that was just something that
situation though.
That took time. Curry was there like it has been there since 2009. And then they had Monte Ellis, and then when they ended up taking a chance on Curry, even with his injury problems with his ankle, and then they drafted Clay, and then they drafted Draymond, and then they acquired Iguodala, and then they just they kept building and building and building until they finally broke through in 2015. So I wouldn't say that Curry got drafted in a fortunate situation, because it took a while for them to get things going. But like Will said, it takes a team to win, and Curry was blessed with teammates that eventually developed into becoming all-time Hall of Famers.
Yeah, he didn't spawn into a good situation, but he got one pretty soon, a lot sooner than other players usually do.
Okay, so what about a guy like Robert Horry? Do you think his rings matter?
I mean, they matter, but at the same time,
I'm not going to rank him above, like, I don't know, like an all-time great just because he has X amount of rings. So he has what, 7?
Yeah, exactly.
I might be tripping. I think he has 7.
No, we have 7.